Welcome back, guys, to the Horrified Bean Podcast. I'm your co-host, Jose Hernandez. Here we have...
Bro had this whole government name just to make sure. Your boy Madden Edwin right here.
We got our guest star, Edwin Hernandez. He finally came back to the podcast.
There you go. I took a leave of absence. I had to handle some immigration stuff. I was sending back people back over the border.
Yeah, we had to bring him back to the United States after that one dude who commented. He swore up and down he wasn't going to deport us. Yeah, Edwin was able to run away, or they sent Edwin away.
Yeah, now Jocko's being deported apparently.
Yeah, Jocko's currently in jail.
Back to Nigeria.
Based on last week's comments, you guys were saying that we were doing Diddy's work. And that somehow, look at the comments. Some of them said we were doing Diddy's work. Said one I just read was saying like Jose and Jocko doing Diddy's work. And that somehow circulated back to the government agency. And Jocko's currently in jail. So we have to raise money to bail him out.
So donate,
if you guys can please donate to the Horrified Bean Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, whatever you got, right? We'll even take cash in the mail.
Here's my personal Cash App right here.
Yeah.
Go and send me any money, any and all money you have.
Send them $1 and leave the most horrible slur you can think of for a Hispanic man like that.
And well, hey, best top worst slur.
No,
we're gonna post
they're
it right
actually
here.
Gonna come in this shit, dude.
Please do it. I'm sending you my Cash App. So
all right. You all donate money. Fuck yeah.
We do need to get Jocko out of jail. He's actually in jail.
No, he's not. All right. So today what we got for you is just a chill bean episode.
We're doing another chill bean episode.
From now on, when one of us is arrested, we're doing chill bean because we can't.
Last week we had myself, Matthias, and Jocko. This week we have Edwin, Matthias, and myself.
Yeah,
right.
Bro, I had to specify like they didn't watch the last episode.
Yeah, if you didn't know, Jocko was sitting over there. He's actually a lot lighter now, and he's Hispanic. Yeah. So we got to make sure, but we do want to do the scary stuff to whenever the whole gang's here. Myself, Jocko, Edwin,
it ain't the same. It ain't the same when we do scary episodes with just like three folks, man. We need some diversity.
Yeah, we need some diversity. Yeah. You look racist. No, but today, thank you guys for the comments you left. So today we're also gonna read some comments, like in the middle maybe of the podcast or the end, and we'll read some stories that you guys left about the first time getting caught doing the nasties.
Why don't we just go ahead and kick off with that, right?
You want to kick off with that?
Yeah, go ahead and kick off with these stories.
First things first, actually, we appreciate you getting us to 421 subscribers.
Oh, shit, that's right.
We did miss out on 420 subscribers, but Jocko's not here.
I was going to say you should have done something about 420 subscribers, but yeah.
We should have got high as fuck. And by I mean Matthias, because I don't smoke.
Yeah, so
And I don't smoke at all either. So.
All right, so who's going to go first with the first story?
Yeah, so based on last week's comments that you guys had, you guys had some funny ones and some out-of-pocket ones.
So, just in case, do you want to do anonymous instead of doing their name, or should you just do their name too?
We'll do anonymous.
No, because they commented on the public platform.
Yeah, you're right. We're fucking now. Yeah, go ahead.
All right,
just do their name.
All right, you guys did this to yourself. So first, we're gonna start off with Ivan Reyes-S2Z.
Hey,
right, if you don't want this read out loud, you should.
Thank you for the story, dude. Thank you, dude.
But shout out to you, man. Y'all give him a subscribe if he's actually doing videos. But we'll start off with Ivan Reyes.
Go ahead.
So, Ivan said he was caught in school, right? And my immediate question before I proceed reading this story is: have you ever done it in school? Have you ever jacked off in school?
Or jacked off?
Yeah, jacked off in school.
Oh, you talking about the bathroom in the middle class?
Yeah.
In the bathroom. I don't think any of us have done it in the middle.
I'm gonna confess something. I'm down bad for this, but this was back in freshman year. Dude, I remember, I was like, you know what? I was after school. I was in after school programs, track and everything. I was done with track. I was sweating, and I had done talk to find shit. And I went to the bathroom, but there was nobody at all. It was like bang. And I went to the teacher's restroom because it was open. Because my teacher back then, who I was really cool with, gave me his key. Went to the bathroom. Rubbed one off and left. And I was like, all right, gotta get out of here. And I left home. That was the one time ever. But it wasn't like in the middle of the class.
I've done it that's different because you waited till waited till after school.
Yeah, I was not doing fucking class.
Shit. It'd be different if you did it like
when everybody's coming in and out of the bathroom.
Everybody's still in the fucking school. That'd be different, right? Let me finish reading this and I'll tell you my most out-of-pocket area.
Go ahead.
But it's Ivan Reyes says, I got caught in school watching the good stuff on my iPod
The good
iPod.
stuff.
Could you watch stuff on the iPod back then? I've never had an iPod.
I had an iPod before. My
Could
first
you watch porn on an iPod?
yeah, I had it. The first time I had an iPod, I was like what 13, and that's when 12. I was 12, around
Prime
12.
time, jacking
And
off.
yeah, I could do 20 motherfuckers in one sitting if I wanted to.
You could do
Pause,
20
pause,
motherfuckers.
Oh wait, no.
Pause. You already hear
Matias is
folks,
worn
Jazz.
out,
Diddy,
fellas.
no Diddy.
Matias can run 20 guys at one time.
No, I can
Hey,
rub 20
Lucky,
me beats.
First
you know?
20 dudes that like this video, Matias is gonna put out for you. Don't
20
worry about
dudes?
it.
No.
Anyways,
I can
20 what?
I can, beat it 20 times in a row back then. Actually, I can still do that shit, bro. Like, but back then it was just, it was just like my hormones, puberty. I could just anytime. Right now, if I wanted to, I could, but I really don't feel like it. But that was, and then I had an iPod, and I remember going into it. That's the first. Actually, that's the same iPod. I actually, for the first time, went into a pornographic website.
First time you went on the pornographic
was
website.
my
What was the
iPod?
pornographic website?
Oh fuck! It was this. It was
Was
like
the
this.
Pornhub, X videos, X hamster, X and
XNXX.
XX,
What is it?
XNXX.
I think it might be that
Was
one.
it
It had a blue. Yeah, it had a blue. Yeah.
It's like
X and
an
X.
The first time, hey, shout out to that website.
Shout out to
Shout out to that
XXX. Thanks for
website.
Yeah, man.
sponsoring our video.
You guys
Yeah.
grew up with us. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for always being there.
Okay, but that's what I had. But yeah, so he had an iPod and he used
Yeah,
that.
so Ivan Reyes got caught in the school because he was watching the good stuff on my iPod.
Yeah, was it in middle of class?
Let me finish reading. Let's see.
Okay.
And then my English teacher saw his.
Oh my god, his teacher saw him.
If only
Why
it was
was-
biology teacher,
Hold
man,
on,
she would
wait.
have put out.
Thing is though, here's the thing is though, I don't know if it's cap though, cause like, oh no, it was back then maybe. I don't know how old this guy is.
Ivan Reyes will not
but-
cap.
But back then though, like I remember I had my iPod and I took it to school one time and I tried to lock in into the Wi-Fi. I couldn't because you can't put a Wi-Fi into an iPod.
But
back
if you
then,
use the
baby.
VPN, you probably could.
Oh, so he could.
So
This
his-
man don't play around. He's done it before.
talking about
I've
He's
been
not
I've
doing
been around
anything.
the block a couple times.
Damn. All right. So what
So-
else? What else? Read it.
He said his English teacher saw him looking at it and quickly snatched my phone away from me and called my parents. I got detention and I got my PS3 taken away for a month. Wait, Ivan also wishes this is in the last week.
Yeah.
But Ivan says Happy Father's Day, Matias, and everyone's dad.
Thank you.
So I appreciate
thank you,
that. But you're a
appreciate it, man.
sick fuck.
You sick,
For watching
disgusting.
Wait,
porn.
the thing is though, how old was he? He never said how old. If he's in elementary school.
We was
or
in
whatever, but-
school.
Ivan, drop your age and I'll
Yeah,
tell you if
drop your-
I'd hit or not.
No, no. All right, so
Hey, don't be
that's-
expired. Anything
Yeah.
below
That's
17 is
crazy.
my.
Anything
fucking
below
go-to
13,
age.
you're expired.
Dude, but what's the nastiest thing the teacher has, or anybody in school ever caught you doing? Like, have you guys ever done it with anybody? Like, the actual,
In school, no.
Yeah, in
Well, if you
school?
say the
No.
nastiest thing, I mean, I've never got caught doing it, but I remember in 4th grade, I was sitting next to this kid, and what he would like to do, he'd like to play with his spit,
what
right?
the fuck?
He'd like to swish it around his mouth and accumulate a lot of spit as much as possible, right? And he just, I was sitting right next to him. Edwin, you were in that class with me, but I don't think you were there. But he was, he loved to play with his spit, just swish it around in his mouth, and he was just like, just doing that with his spit, and I was sitting right next to him, like diagonally away from him, and I was just doing my work.
Is it elementary?
In elementary school.
That's what elementary
this
kids
is
would do.
4th grade.
Yeah, it's 4th grade.
And then
yeah.
out of nowhere, he got so much spit in his mouth that when he was switching it around his mouth, it got out of his mouth. He fucked just a whole fucking shit ton of spit got on his desk, and he was just like, oh. And then I looked over and I just see fucking spit on his dick, and I was like, what the fuck?
That's so fucking
And then his
nasty.
dumb ass tells the teacher, like, hey, teacher, I spit on my desk. And she walks over and is like, and this is like a ghetto ass school. So she's like, what the fuck? Nasty ass, man. Nasty ass. He's like, go get some paper towels, you nasty little kid, man.
Down south schools, bro.
Fucking
Southside schools, bro.
Southside schools,
Good
right?
fuck. Dude, when I was in elementary, and I was like, I was really young back then. I was like 8 or 9, maybe. And I was around the 5th grade, I believe. And so I didn't do anything nasty, but people thought I did something nasty because I was in school. No, I was in cafeteria, and every time I was done, I don't know if y'all remember, because I don't know our age group, the 20s, in their mid 20s, early 20s. If you know
Mid-20s.
this, back then in elementary school, I don't know how they do it now, but we had plastic plates they gave us a little milk and then our whatever lunch we had. And so what I used to do whenever I used to eat lunch and I used ketchup, I was done with my milk and I used to put packages of ketchup or the trash just in the milk. And I remember one time I ended up having a package of ketchup that was full and I was like, I'm not gonna just throw it away, I'm just gonna play with it. I ripped it off and I put it inside the milk carton. But as I was doing that, this fucking bitch of a girl that was fucking right like 2 seats away from me, she saw me and she goes, "Oh, he likes putting ketchup in his milk." And I'm like, "No, wait, no, guys, no. I'm just trying to explain myself." And then everybody at the table goes, "Ew." And I'm like, "Oh my fucking God." And then I was like, fucking bitch. In my head, I'm like, bitch.
Hey, fuck that bitch.
And then she stood up and then told my teacher that was sitting next to her eating lunch. And she goes, "You see him? That little Mexican kid likes putting ketchup in his fucking milk." And I'm like, "What the fuck? I don't." And I had to go to my teacher and I'm like, back then I barely spoke any English, so imagine myself trying to explain myself in English, broken ass English with some words that are in Spanish, trying to tell like no, I was like no ketchup milk, and she was like, huh? And I was like, I don't know. And then after that, for the rest of the year, people didn't like to like a lot of kids that usually sat with me didn't want to sit with me because I put ketchup in my milk.
What was this? In middle school, or
elementary school? Elementary school.
Yeah. We didn't know each other till middle school.
Yeah.
Well, going back to like nasty shit you saw as an elementary kid. I remember I was like, me and you were walking off the bus, and there was this kid who would always sit next to his sister. And at one point, we walked by, and like we just looked at every seat that we walked by in the bus. And you looked over and did a double take. You're like, what the fuck? And I turned around because I was like, what the hell is he looking at? And there's this the kid that was sitting next to his sister. He had his hand down his sister's chest. You remember that?
I remember. I was like, what?
Are you serious? Oh my God.
His own sister too.
His own sister.
I think, and there was another kid similar. He was like just in the back of the bus, just whipping out his dick, showing everybody. Too.
Oh, I remember that one very vividly. Yeah, he was fucking just swinging his dick around. Elementary school, just fucking showing his dick to everybody who got off the bus.
Oh,
and I told the bus driver, I was like, "Hey, dude, this kid's showing his dick," and the bus driver was just like, "Oh well,
what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?" I think he enjoyed the show, but I remember similar to your thing. You said you put this guy likes ketchup in his milk. Fuck you,
I don't.
But I remember in our middle school group we used to have during lunchtime. We'd always fuck around with each other.
Yeah,
I remember we'd put shit in each other's milk, right? When the other one wasn't looking. I remember I grabbed a pea during lunchtime and I threw it in my buddy's milk carton, and like he would just be chugging. This is the beginning of lunch, right? So it was a full milk carton, and peas are kind of heavy, so it sank down to the bottom. So every time he took a swig out of his milk carton, I'd just start dying, laughing inside, just cackling my ass off. And then eventually, as lunch progressed, I forgot about it. And then out of nowhere, like towards the end of lunch, right, he was killing his milk. He's finishing it, and then he just fucking started throwing up and spin his fucking milk all over his fucking tray and shit. And then I looked over and it clicked. I remembered I put a pea in his milk carton. I started dying laughing.
I remember seeing that too, because I remember he was like just pounding that shit because the lunch was almost over. He was just pounding that shit like, I'm gonna drink this fucking chocolate milk, right? And then he's drinking it, and then all of a sudden he's just all over his fucking tray. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? He's like, there's something in my milk, man.
And then I was like, after I died laughing, I told him, I was like, I threw a pea in your milk. He was like, man, what the fuck? I thought it was a fucking roach in my shit and shit. Like, it was fucking funny. And then that day, moving forward, we'd always fuck around with each other and throw shit inside of our milk. Rice, fucking chicken sandwich, meat, all that shit.
Chicken,
whatever the fuck we had. We just throw it in.
Teriyaki chicken, yeah.
What the fuck were you all going? I never had teriyaki chicken in my fucking lunch.
You probably did, but you didn't understand the language.
Yeah, fuck y'all. Damn, that's wild though.
But those are fucking the good old days.
Kids, we don't fucking measure the consequences of our actions. You could have killed that motherfucker too. That's funny.
It was a fucking
pee. You fucking
can,
pussy.
But that's fucking funny though. That's fucking hilarious. Dude, no. Okay, what about you? What's the other story you've seen in school?
Nasty stuff. I'm thinking about it.
Okay, before you go, I have a nasty one too that I just remember. Like, in my bus back, this was high school though. This was high school. I was sophomore year, and so I remember that everybody in the back is basically like the cool kids or whatever. The quiet,
Yeah.
It's the cool kids, the the quiet ones, and then the weird fucking kids that sit in front. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck y'all sitting in front, but I was in the back, and I'm not trying to say I'm a cool kid or something, but I was sitting in the back, minding my business, right? Because I like to sleep, and so I was just over there passed out, and then out of nowhere, I just hear, and I'm like, the fuck is that? Nobody was there. Everybody just minding their business. And then I look at, and I don't know why, just scanning the seats in front of me. I see this dude, just like the ugliest motherfucker you can think of. This man, I knew him. His name was Lincoln, and this motherfucker stank all the time, and he was weird.
Shout out Lincoln.
And then I was just sitting there, and I heard, and I'm like, and he's just like, I'm like, what the fuck? And I look up. This man is getting top. Like this, and he's got the biggest bitch of the fucking school giving him top. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then this other dude, everybody, I'm like, and I remember I go to, like, I think it was Walter, or I don't know who was that was next to me. I'm like, dude. And he goes like, oh shit. He's like, and we started tapping everybody in the back. Like, oh, fucking, then somebody pulls out their phone and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And then the bus driver notices that we're all standing up before he takes off, and he doesn't like that because somebody can fall. He goes, hey, he's like, sit down. And then somebody's like, I mean, we just ignore him, and then he goes in the back, and then he catches them. What are y'all doing? Fucking grabs them both, takes the principal's over. He gets suspended for like a week. Or something, yeah.
That's right,
when
kids.
Motherfucker got suspended for having a meatball in his dick, dude.
I was like, fuck.
You can only get suspended for getting head, so
Oh, fuck, yeah.
take a couple
Sex
days
is
off of
alright.
school, get some head. Nothing's gonna happen to you guys.
Nah, hell no.
All right.
That was nice. Okay, go ahead with your story.
Yeah. Next.
I
next.
don't have a
Oh, no,
story.
read your story that you were gonna read.
shit.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
by the comments. All right, give me 1 second. Let me look up the archives. What's that?
All right, Mateus, you got yours up already. Go ahead and read
All right,
yours.
I'll read mine. All right. So this one.
I don't really remember how exact.
All right.
Go ahead.
So this is from Christine Pratt, Star Queen or something like
Shout
that.
out Christine
Yeah,
Price.
yeah, you always
Um,
comment on our videos. We
yes,
appreciate
sir.
that.
Yeah, we
Thank
love
you.
you. We love you, right?
Now, this is how the story goes. So, this happened to me when I was 13. I asked my friend to copy some movies into my USB. I didn't know he copied a porn video too. I didn't know about this, and I gave the USB to my mother as she wanted to watch some movies. That's your parents catching you. What does it say? The next morning, she called me and asked about how did you get these movies? Who gave it to you? And I didn't know what she was talking about. Then she asked me delete it right now. Then I saw what she was talking about, and I was completely shocked. I told her I don't know where it came from. Then she starts to suspect me. This is very broken English, just letting y'all know. But hey, you did your best. They never restricted me from going anywhere or having male friends. But after that, I was not able to get that carefree life back, even though I didn't do anything. I hope I typed this in a way you guys understand it. Love you guys. Okay, yeah, see? All right, but
And who is this?
Christine Pratt.
Christine Pratt, you sick fuck. Why are you watching fucking porn on your fucking USB
but
and then
imagine
giving that
that.
shit to your mom? I'm just kidding.
Or imagine
But
that,
still.
dude, with your parent. Bro, fuck, dude.
What we talked about last week, the first time we got caught jacking
Yeah.
off. I told you my story, Mateus. You shared your story.
I didn't
Edwin
get
did
caught.
that.
I didn't
You never
share my
got caught
story.
by your mom and dad jacking off or watching porn.
Oh, fuck. I think.
Edwin, what about
No,
you?
what about
Right?
you?
You,
You ever
you
get
weren't here
caught?
last week. We talked
Yeah,
about
you-
first
So,
time we either got
uh,
caught watching porn or masturbating.
Yeah.
No, I never got caught by my parents. I always got caught by you.
Go
But I did get caught. Shit, this is very embarrassing.
ahead.
But I did get caught having intercourse with my then girlfriend in my room. My little sister.
No way.
So so like this is what my mom always says because she always brings it up. I'm like, oh my god, shut the fuck up. But like, right. So I was in my room, right, and I had my girlfriend over. I'm like, damn, my whole family's over. It's prime time to fuck right now.
Yep.
So we're over here, and I'm like, hey, let's close the door. So I closed the door, and our previous bedroom door had a weird little lock. We had to push
Oh,
in
shit.
and like twist it so it can lock. But half the time it didn't work. So I thought it was locked, and we were like, all right, bet. So I'm over here, fucking balls deep in this woman, right? And I'm fucking the shit out of her and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden the door cracks open, and like when you get caught like having
Yeah.
sex, you're like you pull out,
pull out, yeah,
you
you pull
do
out.
this- you do this little fucking thing where you like
Yeah,
fuck the
you feel
legs,
shame
you
and
pull
shit.
your shirt down, all this stuff. Right. So she was right there, and like she opens the door, cracks it open, immediately closes it right after.
Damn.
And then like my little sister, she didn't know any better at the time. So unbeknownst to me, she went to my mother afterwards, and she was like, "Mom, I just walked in on my brother like on top of his girlfriend doing some funky shit,
Funky shit.
They're wrestling, mom.
They were,
Like
like,
naked.
fighting or something." And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
I think Ed
My
was
mom was like,
vaccinating her.
I was like, "What?" And then like I remember later on that week, I didn't connect the dots till now, but like later on that week, mom sat me down. I was like, "Hey, let me talk to you about like safe intercourse, all right?"
Oh,
Birds
same.
And there's also
bees.
like, I mean, get a hotel room or something because you're old enough for that now.
Yeah.
But get a hotel room and just whatever girl you got over, just take her over there. I'm like, Mom, I'm broke as fuck. I can't afford a hotel room. And she's like, don't matter. You do that shit somewhere else.
Oh,
I'm like,
fuck. Like every Mexican house, you got like can't do
Dude,
it in the house.
I can't believe, dude. Fucking, I didn't know that until that time.
Dude.
You know, we like to joke around as a family. You and our family, Edwin. And she brought it up, and that
How did
was
she
the
bring
first
it up?
time. I don't know. We were just eating at Sapos.
She just
or a
brought it up.
Mexican,
It's like-
a local Mexican restaurant at the time, and she brought it up, and I was like, "What? You got Edwin and
in
his
both.
before girlfriend having sex?" I was like, "Oh, I could only imagine poor. You bleep it out.
Oh,
but
what-
poor.
yeah.
All right.
But actually, just had some bad experiences. She was the one I think I told last time on the podcast
When
that I
she fell
threw off the
down.
roof.
Yeah.
When I threw off the roof.
Yes.
I remember one time she was putting on her shoes, right? And
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
No
she was
way.
putting on her shoes, right? And then she was putting on her shoes. She just let out the most blood curdling scream I've ever heard.
Mm.
And I just hear out of nowhere, bro. I just hear that out of nowhere. I'm like, what? Me and everyone right there, like, what happened? And she's like, my shoe. I was like, what's wrong with your shoe? And we pick it up, and we look inside of it. There's a big ass spider in the shoe.
Oh my god.
I don't know if you're familiar with a wolf spider, but
Oh
that's what
no,
was in
a
there.
wolf
Yeah,
spider.
a wolf spider. So you know them jumping spiders?
Yes.
So they imagine that times like
1,000.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
fucking funny as
Fuck,
fuck.
that's so. She has such
And
a
she
bad
looked,
luck.
she looked at her shoe and she just saw like 8 eyes looking right back at her. And she was like, "Oh my god!"
No, like I never got caught like beating it, but I mean I didn't get caught either doing it, but like I think Jesse remembers this. But back
She caught you having sex?
not a copy, but she knew what we were doing. Because,
Jacking off.
No, because so back then, fuck, I don't know if I should say this
Back
story.
when you and the 20 guys were having sex.
No.
Right, say it, and then in post, you can determine whether you
Okay,
want to cut it
so
or not.
back then in school, I was in math. I had pre-calculus. I was in AP classes, and this fucking teacher, fucking, I'm gonna say her name, but I'm gonna leave it out. But Miss was my pre-calculus teacher, but she always had beef with me. I breathe. She's like, stop breathing too loud. I have gum in my mouth. Who's chewing like a fucking cow? And always it was me getting in trouble. And so one day I remember I met her daughter, and she back then she was fine shit to me. And so I was like, all right, fuck it. I started talking to her, and we ended up dating. And one day I took her to my house, thinking that there was nobody at my place. My mom and dad were working. I didn't think I was out, and I took her to my room and shit, and shit. And then next thing you know, we go out after everything happened. We were all eating. We're like, oh, let's go eat something. We're making sandwiches, and yes, he wakes up. And I'm like, oh fuck, who's this? And I'm like, oh, this is so
This is the fine bitch I'm
and Jesse
fucking
looked at me
pounding
like,
right now.
yeah, Jesse knew what it was about. And then after, like, fuck. And then she then she actually hung out with us for a bit afterwards.
After you fucked?
Yeah, because Jeremy came over, and Jeremy was
My
like,
boy
oh,
Jeremy. Shout out Jeremy.
Jeremy saw that Jesse knew, and he looked at me like, who's this? And I'm like, oh, so and so. He's like, well, you guys were here? I'm like, yeah, by yourselves. I'm like, we thought we were. And then Jeremy was like, oh, Jeremy, you know how Jeremy is. He started fucking making a big deal about it, and I was like, shut the fuck up, dude. Damn, I'm trying to pull game. And
For
she,
those of y'all who don't know who Jeremy is, if you
It's,
rewind a bunch of videos on our channel,
you'll see him fucking
he-
be crossing this thing.
he's a guy behind Edwin in this one video we did.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
wearing,
with the
he was
fucking-
wearing the fucking
I'm gonna put a
beer.
picture of it
He was
right
wearing
here.
the,
Put a
wearing
picture
the,
right here.
the
Yeah.
Michelob
Yeah,
beer
he's cool as
corn.
shit, yeah.
He had that shit on. So
Love
that's
you, bro.
Jeremy, if you didn't know.
Yeah, but yeah, he was there, and then fucking Beto came over, took us to, and everybody knew about it, and everybody was just fucking keep talking about it, and so I'm just like, fuck, and he's in there, but yeah, and then after that, like we started like kind of like not dating, but we were just like hanging out more, just we didn't know exactly what we were supposed to do, guys. It was her niece, yeah, it was her niece, not her daughter. Yeah, and so I remember one time, like I think me and her kept going out together all the time, like just hanging out in school together. And so you could kind of tell that we were, we were not a couple, that we were like a couple basically. And so one time we were in, I was walking her to class, but I didn't pay attention, and we were crossing too close to the hall where Miss Roberts was. And so like I next thing you know, Miss Roberts sees me giving her a kiss. Like I give her a kiss, and she walks into class, and she goes, fuck her. She goes, it's like, get over here. And I was like, oh fuck it. I'm just sitting there like, yes, like fuck you, bitch. Like I was fucking saying, fucking hate of that hoe. And next thing you know, she's like, she's like out there in the hall. She's like, what are you doing with him? What are this and that? And I heard her like saying shit about me, talking shit about me.
What are you doing with this spick right here?
And then she goes, she's like, well, I don't care. I can go with anybody. And she's like, I'm gonna tell your mom. She's like, I don't give a fuck. And you know how white people talk to their families, like.
Oh, she was white?
She was white, yeah. She was white, and she was like, man, I don't give a fuck. And she just walked off, and then she came back and held my head and took me to the hall in front of her. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you, bitch. I was so petty, bro. I was like, fuck you. Because Miss Rose kept fucking always getting on me for no reason. But, that was the only time, that shit was funny, though, because, man, fuck that teacher.
Well, going back to middle school experiences real quick.
Yeah.
There was one time where, like, we were on lockdown because middle school, bleep that out. But middle school kept like fucking getting in fights and stuff, so we were on lockdown, right?
Wait, lockdown for a
Oh, shootings.
Yeah, well, no, it was mostly lockdowns. Remember the whole school was locked down for a while?
Yeah,
what?
For a shooting.
Well, no, for days at a time.
But for what though?
Oh, like yeah.
Because there were fights all the time.
Yeah, disciplinary lockdown, right?
Yeah.
Silent lunches.
Oh, I
No
remember
pep
these.
rallies,
Yeah, I
none of
remember
that
these.
shit.
Yeah, I remember these.
Right,
Yeah.
so it was in we were in Livingston's
big,
class.
right?
You remember Livingston?
Yeah, the big titty bitch. Yeah.
I guess. What?
Was Livingston the mix? The mixed skin,
No,
light skin.
No, that's not her. The one that paid for your Orlando trip.
Oh,
That's not. Oh yeah, yeah.
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 There you go.
Yeah.
So we were in her class, right? And the teachers were changing classes instead of us. So we were out there and like we were just bored as shit because there ain't nothing to do. Like I was just sitting in the classroom all fucking 8 hours a day, just doing whatever. Anyways, so back then we had these you remember not silly bands, those when people used to braid their own bracelets with the rubber bands. Mm-hmm. So somebody like brought a whole pack of them to school, and I was like, yo, give me like 5 of them. And we were like popping each other and stuff. And there's one kid, he was cool as fuck. Can't remember his name. He was like bald headed. We called him Peanut Head. He was light skinned, dude.
I remember who you're talking about. Yeah.
Anyway, we were in her class, and I got the little band, I put it on my fucking finger, and we were just popping each other. And like I saw his ass, he wasn't paying attention to any of us. And I went over there, pointed at the back of his fucking bald headed ass, and I let it go, and it hit him right in the back of the head. And it must have hurt because he got mad as shit.
Damn.
He got so mad he snitched on the teacher, right? And the teacher came in, like a different teacher came in from a different class. And she was going around, I was like, who the fuck assaulted this student?
No.
She was going around with a bad kid. She was like, was it you? And he said, nah. And she's like, I don't believe you. Was it you? Nah, I don't believe you.
Backstory. Wait, hold on. Backstory. Edwin and I, we fucked around a lot in middle school, but we were like the smart, good kids,
Yeah,
right?
they
To
were
the
top
teachers.
kids back
We were
then.
the
Good
good
boys.
kids,
The good
right?
kids,
We were
yeah,
one
they
of
never
the
get in
good
trouble.
ones.
I was always in fucking detention or fucking ISS.
Yeah,
in that
nah.
the teachers loved Edwin and I because we were fucking making good grades, fucking on good behavior in front of their eyes, but like behind their backs,
Yeah.
fuck around all the time.
Yeah.
So continue.
So she came up to me and she was like, was it you? And I like, obviously it was me. But I was like, nah. And she was like, I believe you. You're a good kid. And I was like, thank God. And she took the bad kids out.
No
And she
way.
took them out, talked to them. They all got detention. And like a week or like a few weeks later, I came up to dude. Like, hey, remember when you complained about somebody popping in the back of the head with a rubber band? Yeah, it was fucking me, dude. Fuck you.
Yeah,
he's like,
no one's gonna
"That was
believe
you?"
you.
I thought it was you.
Yeah, I was like, hell no, hey, dude.
No
I had the
way.
privilege of being smart and a little fat little kid, not doing the
No.
right thing, man. You just lie your ass off and they'll believe you.
No, dude. I remember this one time because like I don't know why sometimes I would get in trouble for fighting or stupid shit because I got good grades like A's and B's. These motherfuckers were straight A's. I was A's and B's.
We're fucking smart.
Yeah, and so like teachers were like, sometimes when I used to get in trouble, they were like, you could do better. You could be like you could be like the twins.
like
I'm like,
the
man,
twins,
fuck
Jose
the
and
twins.
Edwin.
I'm like, fuck the twins.
Fuck us.
I'm their friends.
Fuck us.
And I, like,
Fuck you.
Fuck you. No, you want to fuck
guys.
us?
No.
I'll fuck you right
They
now.
always use them as examples most of the time when the bad kids were being like, they had good grades were being bad. And so I was one of them that I was like having good grades, but I was always in like suspension, detention, whatever. And so I was getting fucking fights or fucking, something. I would always do. Or sometimes there's the crazy thing. I would get in trouble for just not doing anything, but because I was there and they knew I was bad, I was in trouble. I remember one time I was in physics class and I had sat down with all the bad kids in the fucking in the class, and we had a round table, and so we were just joking around and stuff. And I was doing my work like always. I was just finishing my work, turning it in, and I just sit there fucking around with them, you know. And then I wasn't doing anything bad until one of them decided, like, you know what? There was this dude called Caesar. I know you remember. He was bald.
Yeah, Caesar, yeah.
He barely spoke any English.
Yeah, I had to translate for him in elementary school.
Middle
school.
The Mexican little
Yeah,
dude.
he's Mexican, but he
talk
looks
about he
Asian.
was a gangster.
Well,
and
everybody
shit.
told him he was like Asian though.
Yeah, he was always like saying he was a gangster and shit. He can suck on my nuts. But the thing is though, he was like in there and he said drawing, and then the other kids were like, you know what, let's draw these, and they draw big ass penis with veins and shit. Like they made it look as realistic as they could. And at the end of the class, we all stood up and left. I was in class, and then the teacher calls me over, like you, and then Caesar, and then everybody who was at the table, and they were like, "So, was that your table?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's my table." They were like, "Who drew this?" She took us to the room, bro. I hadn't paid attention exactly how it looked, and I looked at it. I just thought, and in my head, I'm thinking like, ISS again. I just had fucking ISS last week, bro. And then they were like, "Yeah, you're in trouble," and I got detention for that. And I'm like, "Fuck!" And bro, I was always in that bitch all
For
the
drawing
time.
a big dick with veins on it.
Yes, dude. And then, bro, I remember. And then when I was in ISS, waiting for my, because they always give you a slip, you know, you have to fill it out. Yeah. And so I was in office, and then this other girl who also got in trouble for punching a dude. So apparently that guy had like touched her inappropriately, and she just punched him in the face. But she also got detention because supposedly you're not supposed to punch. And so they were like,
but he can touch him.
exactly.
Touch her
That's what I'm
inappropriately.
saying. And
Cool.
so, but he also got in trouble, and his parents got called. But you know, still, she shouldn't have get in trouble. But the thing is that she was in there, and then they were like, "You have to write the reason. Why do you think? How what happened? You know, you have to write what happened." And she goes, "He's lying," in all caps, and she put it there. She left. I remember trying to write it and I started dying, bro. But yeah, that shit is one of the story, bro. That's crazy. I used to get in trouble like that for no reason all the time. Oh, do you ever get in trouble for no, like, when it was not your fault?
All the time with my parents.
I
No,
got my
high
cousin
school.
in trouble when it wasn't his
In
fault.
school?
Yeah, not in school, but basically in school. It was on the school bus. Like, we were getting off the bus, and I was like pushing people to get off the bus.
Damn.
And my little cousin was right in front of me, and I was pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. And then when we got to the front of the bus, the fucking bus driver was like, "Hey, were you the motherfucker pushing kids off the bus?" Looking at my cousin, but it was me.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No." And he looked at me, and me being the little good boy I am, I was like, "Nah." And then he was like, "All right, so it was you, definitely you," because my cousin, he was a little bad kid, but at that point in time, it wasn't him. It was
Yeah.
my fault.
Yeah.
But I didn't take the blame for it.
Damn.
And so it was him, and I put the blame on him, and he got in trouble. He got written up, and that's what caused the continental drift away from
No
my
way.
auntie and my mom.
You guys were good because
at
we
that
used that
time.
shit to your advantage, didn't you? You
Yeah.
motherfucker.
It was nice, dude. Like,
Fuck. No.
whoever here is underage, still in elementary school or middle school,
Those are your
listening to
family
this,
members.
right? Be the good one. Be the one that makes straight A's, because no one's gonna suspect you.
This
No one will ever suspect you. You can get away with a lot.
Dude,
So
wanna
you
know
can fuck
some-
around so much, and no one's gonna suspect you.
I remember this story, dude. This is funny, but I might have to cut it off, but I'm gonna say it though anyway. So the same girl that I was going out with, that Miss Ross's niece. So I remember one time we were in cafeteria, right, and we went to the gym, and in front of the doors there were some mats that I had taken out, so it made like a little space, like a little room where nobody could see us from the other side. And so she pushed me in, and we started making out, right? But we forgot that in front of the cafeteria was the special ed class. And the rooms were right there, and they had big ass fucking windows. They were like fucking clear, and you could see them in there. And so I remember I was making out with her, and then I kind of took a peek behind her. And okay, dude, this is so fucking funny because I
The
started
specialist kid
laughing.
was like,
Tall dude, big ass dude with a fucking overalls. I started fucking going crazy, and one of the teachers like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And he sees both of us. She sees both of us. I see her pull the radio in, pulling the radio, and she saw that I saw her. Like we locked eyes for a second. She's like, and I was like, "Fuck!" And she's like, "No," and she's like, she's calling the radio, putting on her radio. We go to the cafeteria, and fucking missed my automotive maintenance teacher was right there, and he was like, were you guys the ones making out over there? And I was like, and Loki, everyone was watching me, so I was like, yeah. And all the boys were like, and then he was like, nah, we don't do this here. He's like, you guys want to do this somewhere else, not here. He's like, yo, go ahead to class or I'm put you in detention. And I was like, all right. And he separated both of us. He's like, you go over there, you go over there. And I was like, fuck. But that shit was so fucking funny though, because he was
The
like,
teachers probably like, hey man, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I got a job to do. I
Yeah.
cannot allow this to happen. So hey, you go sit over there, you sit over there. After that, you fuck, let me know.
but she got in trouble later on because he knew Miss Roberts. He told her about it.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
so she also got in trouble too. But like that shit was so
Damn.
funny though, because like bro was like freaking out. And in my head, I could hear the sound of him doing that, and I was started laughing. Dude.
Oh, no,
That
dude.
shit was funny.
Speaking of special needs kids, you ever seen that commercial with like that Down syndrome girl? She's like, bartender, you assume that I go up to the bar, I can't drink alcohol.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you just give me juice.
Yeah.
And these guys are watching it like,
Bartender,
Bartender.
you assume because
You
I
think
know
that-
I've seen the commercial.
he's like, bartender, you think that I can't get fucked up on 50 chocolate milks?
Just because I
Fuck
mix every single
bartender.
soda flavor
You think that I
to make
can't
me my own
make a super soda when I ask you to mix all the sodas you got in the behind the counter? You're fucked up.
That does not mean that.
Oh my god, dude, that's so
I know
funny.
exactly which
I
video
know
he's
what
talking
you're
about.
talking about.
Hey,
I'm going
drop
to
a
help
like on the video if you know which video Edwin is talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know the guys. They got their own podcast or whatever. Please shout them out.
Oh, they
'cause I
have
don't
a
want-
podcast?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have
yeah,
a
it was,
podcast.
it was off another podcast. You were
If
talking
you
about
know who they
that.
are, shout them out because I don't want to take credit for their like.
Oh
jokes.
shit, I didn't know that either. Dude, that's fucking crazy.
All right.
Was that the only stories that we had? You want to
No,
read one?
I
Look for another one.
didn't even read mine yet.
Oh,
Did you find one yet? If not,
did you
I got
find
one.
because you said you found one.
I got two actually.
All right,
Alright.
read two. Read both.
So this first one right here is from fucking Jason Ackerman.
Shout out Jason Ackerman.
Jason.
Yeah, fucking. How's Mikasa doing? Anyways, he says, I don't really remember how exactly I was caught, but the first time, but I know it was in my room when I thought no one was home, and my older brother came in and saw me, and he like mocked me every day ever since. Now, speaking of getting caught by your own siblings, Jose's caught me numerous times.
Dave, really?
I chose not to talk about it on the show without Edwin being present. But if Edwin wants to talk about it, he can go ahead.
We can go ahead. I remember I was over here stroking my shit to like some fucking juicy ass porn. And I'm over here on my phone. I'm looking at it. I'm cross-eyed. I'm like, oh, yeah, baby. I'm over here stroking my shit, rubbing my 3-inch Peter right here. And Jose walks in. He's like, and I was like, no. I was looking at memes. And he's like, no, I know exactly what you're doing. I was like, fuck you, bitch.
I don't know if I told this the last episode we did, but I remember it was one time after church, right? We had a little church get together after church,
Yeah.
and then like it was one day we were gonna hang out with you
Yeah.
after church, right? Go to your house, spend the night, whatever. And I remember like we were like rushing to hurry up, help clean up, whatever get together we had after church, and my auntie stopped me and she was like, "It's like, Jose, is your mom still here?" And I was like, "Yeah, probably." He said, "Tell her not to leave until I talk to her." I was like, "Okay." And then I went to go, tell my mom. I was like-
Fuck, bro.
No.
I know exactly where you're going with
What
this.
happened?
and then I'm gonna go tell my mom, and I was like, "Hey, mom, we're leaving with Matias right now to go spend the night at his house, but just to let you know, Auntie so and so said she wanted to talk to you." Bam, we went to go hang out at your house. Didn't think nothing of it till
Uh-huh.
like a week later, and then a week later, my mom sat us down, and she was like, "Mijo, Edwin, and Jose, listen, I know you guys are growing up. I know you guys.
Well, I don't know, because
spend the night
Yeah,
at your auntie's place a lot.
Yeah,
but
she had this conversation while like right before we went to school.
Uh-huh.
It was me, you, and my little brother, our little brother, and she was like, "Esau, go to the other room, close the door." And she's like, "Sad." She like, you remember that conversation? Damn, dude, I was like, as soon as she said that, I was like, "Fuck, I know what's gonna happen."
No.
Go ahead.
yeah, she was like, "Hey, listen, I know you guys are going through, puberty and whatnot. I know you guys, your bodies are changing, but you know how embarrassing it is when your auntie has to come to me and say that I think your son, while he was staying the night at my house,
I was
watched
my
some
shit.
watched some inappropriate stuff on the computer."
There's a
And
laptop.
he was he brought the laptop into the bathroom with him.
No.
Like he was watching inappropriate stuff on my laptop, and he he jorked his shit, and then he cleaned himself afterwards on my towel.
No.
Right? You have no idea how disgusting that is.
No,
you need
not
to have a conversation with your son, with your kids, because I can't have that. She told that to us. Edwin, you got some commentary?
Yeah, no. So
way.
first of all, I never clean my shit up with her
So
towel.
she lied about that.
No, maybe. I mean,
Listen,
she probably saw.
first
She
of
probably
all-
knew I was stroking my shit.
First of all, I knew exactly what scenario she was talking about because at that time you and I both know we were jorking our shit.
So he said,
And you went into the restroom, right? Big ass laptop in your hands, right?
not even his, not even his, by
It
the
was
way.
our parents' laptop. They let us take it to our aunt's house
She had Wi-Fi.
because she had Wi-Fi, so we were gonna watch YouTube and shit. And then like we were just goofing off and whatnot. And then I'm walking down the hallway and I
Yeah.
see Edwin walking into the restroom with a laptop in his hands. And I looked at Edwin and I stopped him. I was like, Edwin, don't do it, man. Don't do it. He was
Yeah,
like,
you know I got
he
a
was
joke, baby.
he was like, I know what I'm doing, man. Don't worry about it. He went into the restroom and closed the door, and I was like, well, I warned him. And then weeks later, my mom had that conversation with
I
my
can tell you
aunt.
the
Told you
I
not
can
to.
tell you the exact video I was watching.
What
dude.
video were you watching?
I can't remember the name of it, but it was like this short hair blonde bitch, and she was wearing this kind of weird dress where it was like super loose, so she can like
Rip it out.
no, not even rip it out, but like
Just show it
it
and
was like
stretch
low-
it.
It was like it hung around her neck. That's the support of the dress, but she can like whip her one left titty out, and then she can she can whip her right titty out and like the dress right in the middle, and her titties both out. I'm like, whoa!
Stop! I can only get so hard.
Yeah, I can only get so stiff,
You know,
bro. That's
and I was
crazy,
even
dog.
it was like one of my first times watching porn because back then, do you know the Pirate Bay is
The what?
the Pirate Bay?
I already know.
So back then, Pirate Bay was a website where you can pirate a lot of shit, and one of the stuff I pirated off it was Minecraft for free, like the full version,
Yeah.
and it was back in best old Android days.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking go to Pirate Bay, but of course, Pirate Bay is gonna have ads. And what are on those ads?
Porn.
Porn.
Big booty bitches.
So I'll be like, there's like local milfs in your area, and like it flash video like pictures of like random ass milfs with their titties
Dude.
out. I'm like,
He's like,
those are boobs.
let me get
Yummy.
Let me
Why is
strut
my
my
pee
shit.
hard right now?
My
How old were
pants
you?
were
How
funny.
old were you guys back then?
This was back in middle school.
Middle school, so
You
we were
guys were
around
13.
12, 13.
Damn, you guys are old enough. Bro, you guys are stupid, bro. All right, I got
Anyways, what do we leave off on?
All right, I got another story. Okay. This one is from. Hold on, where the fuck is it? Just read this one. How many stories there are? Okay, here's the one. So. Okay. Okay, so this one is from Octane Lara. Hey, I like that. So it says the day I got caught beating it, I was in my room and I had a tablet against the wall, and my mom came in and saw me watching the nasties, and then she hit me with a plastic cup.
Hold on, which one? Who said that?
Octane Lara. Oh, you guys commented on it. Bro had the whole setup. and then he answered, I had to, man. I'm a high class gentleman. Hey, Octane, hey, bro had the whole setup. He
Dude,
got
I
comedy.
got one from a chick.
Oh, you got it from a chick? Oh shit, read it. Did we read any chick ones? Oh yeah, we got one with Chris, Christine.
This is one from Catherine Smith U5S.
Okay.
And she says, the first time I got caught watching something, I was 15 and I was watching two guys kissing on my phone in a nasty website. My mom walked in behind me in my room, and since my door was wide open and I was facing away from the door, she took my phone and I was grounded for a week. Ever since then, I got into guys, and I'm not even gonna lie, I love fucking ever since, and I'm high key a hoe. Dude, that's great. It's a great life, though.
Who is that?
This is Catherine Smith U5S.
He said,
Hey,
Shout out
Catherine
Catherine Smith.
Hey, shout out Catherine Smith. You're appreciating your own truth. You're a hoe, and
He said I'm a
you
hoe.
embrace that shit. All
Let
right.
us know if you want to
You
come
keep
out
it
for a
going.
meet and greet.
Catherine,
Gladly do a meet
come
and
out here.
greet.
The
We'll do a
VIP meet and greet.
Matias, might want to fuck you, but unfortunately,
Might.
he's way too in love with men, so I
What
can't
the
guarantee
fuck?
that. But
Dude, she look. Said, "I'm hiking a
I'm
hoe."
high key a hoe, and it's great. It's a great life.
Hey, it's a great life. Hey,
well, going back to
Hey.
like nasty stuff on your phone,
Hey.
like I know we got to wrap up soon, but real quick,
Alright,
I
good,
remember
good,
in
good.
middle
You can do
school.
it.
I remember in middle school, this girl was talking about how she like this one guy added her on social media randomly, and she was a middle school granddad,
Mhm.
and this guy was like 21 or whatever, and the guy was like, "Hey, you're fine as shit. What do you want to do?" And she's like, "Nothing. I'm fucking in middle school." And he's like, "I don't give a fuck." So she's out here. Like just amusing this man.
Mhm.
I guess she's getting something out of it, right? Like validation,
Yeah.
whatever middle school kids do. And she's getting validation, whatever, and like the guy keeps yapping her up, and she's like, "Yeah, whatever," and I'm blowing him off and whatever. And at one point, the guy sends a photo of this cock, right? And
How
I was
big
like,
was it?
is she,
How big was it?
Right, good question, because I actually did ask her that. And I was like, "So was it like a good size one or what?" She was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll give him that. It's pretty big." And she was saying. Like she was saying pretty big. I'm like, damn, I wonder if feel in my mouth. Anyways,
Dude, what the fuck?
anyways,
Faggot.
she's like, ew, gross. That's gross. Why would you send me that? And he's like, whatever. And then shortly after, he sends another photo of him, like his dick, but his like already came. Like, he got shit coming
what
out
the
of it.
fuck?
If you never experienced comes like this white shit, super
Yo,
slimy.
shut the fuck
It kind of looks like Zen.
And then
Anyways, and I was like, ew. And then she like kept going, and she was like talking about like, oh yeah, and also I came across this video of this guy fucking a snake. I'm like,
what the fuck?
what? And then she pulled up the video and showed me, and pretty much it's a guy, it's a white guy,
Obviously,
Of course,
a white
of
guy.
course
Of course,
it's
a
white.
white guy.
like
course.
muscular build and whatever, but he's got
Yeah.
like a fucking anaconda wrapped around him. I guess it was his pet or something, but like it was a female anaconda, and you just see his wiener inside the anaconda's fucking whatever,
What the
vagina if you want
fuck?
to call it that. And he was like he was kind of thrusting, but it wasn't really going anywhere. And I was looking at the video and I was like, how does that work?
How does
I was
that
like
work?
scientifically analyzing it. It was
You
like,
stick it in, bro.
Like,
where's that going?
oh, what the fuck, dude? That's so nasty as hell. Ugh. Yeah, oh fuck that.
You got another one to read?
Oh fuck yeah, I had another one. Hold on,
I got one too. So you go.
Go ahead,
first.
you go. No, you go first. You go first.
This one is from Luna Thess.
Okay.
Luna Thess. You commented on a lot of our videos, right? I'm excited what you
Yes,
have to
sir.
say. My first time getting caught was by my best friend.
Ooh.
She really liked to come into my house in middle school, and this happened the first time I touched myself. As a girl, I feel like discovering porn is more difficult, not as common, and I'll live to believe. Damn, this fucking. You need to learn how to type, Luna. But I was in my room and looking up characters for a show I watched, and I found a website, and it made me feel weird.
Mm.
But good.
Should we watch cartoon porn?
Cartoon porn, we've all been there, Luna. Don't worry about
I'm
it.
still there, baby. Don't worry about it.
Oh my fucking
But it
God.
made me feel weird, but good. So I
butt.
started to touch myself, and I pulled my panties down, and I love the feeling. All right, who else is
Wait,
getting
hold on.
hard?
I'm
Who else is
getting
hard?
I'm
I'm getting hard right now.
I'm getting
Hold on,
stiff,
is it
dude.
middle school?
Is it
She's 15, so
Oh, no,
only high
never
school.
mind, never mind, no. Oh, but she's
Hey,
old now, so she's
Hey,
older
say
now.
tell another story, but of age.
Of age, yeah.
Like, I don't know where I got 15 from. She's in middle school. Yeah,
Oh shit, that's way too young, my boy.
I was just kidding. I was not getting hard.
No, Diddy, no.
Anyways,
We were all here like, and then like, wait, hold on, wait, middle school.
but then it made me feel weird but good, so I started to touch myself, and I put my panties down, and I
Wait,
love
is
the
the comment
feeling.
on my video? Which one is this? I
The,
don't remember.
the most recent video we
Okay,
had.
keep going,
Let me
keep
finish.
Let me finish. It's like I
I'm
went.
getting good, man.
Shut the fuck up. Good.
My dear's way hard.
So I started to touch myself, and I pulled my panties down, and I love the feeling. When I was getting into it, my friend opened the door and saw me. Then she walked in and sat next to me and watched me
What the fuck?
do it. After that, me and her became a couple and started doing the nasty.
Wait, is
What the fuck?
this a girl?
This is a girl.
Luna Tess. I'm
It's a
assuming
girl.
it's
Yeah,
a girl.
it's a girl. She didn't say, but it sounds like she said my best. Yeah. Damn.
She then goes on to say, "We have been dating ever since I'm 23 now, and we're getting married soon. Congratulations, Luna.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hey,
I hope
you found
the
the love
best.
of life right
yeah.
there. Hey,
I hope the best for you guys,
Hey.
right?
Coming
Right?
from, I'm
You
so
guys
happy
be
for
good.
click newest. And
I
then,
hope
yeah.
I hope the everything goes well for you guys,
Fuck
right?
yeah.
Right. So be good.
Hey,
Love
we
is
respect
love,
that shit, bro. It's
right?
alright.
Even though it's unholy and you will be burning in hell, but love is love.
Love is love. All right, here's my
Wait.
story. What does he say?
Please read my story. Jocko, I'll DM you if you want.
Hey,
DM
Hey,
Jocko.
DM Jocko.
Ma'am,
DM Jocko.
you are a promised woman to another woman.
Luna
You
Tess,
relax.
I did what you asked. I read your story. Now you got to DM Jocko.
No, don't DM
DM
him.
Jocko.
He will take that shit.
DM
You
Jocko.
DM Jocko. He doesn't have to. He's a celebrity.
Oh my god.
You stay away from
Celebrity.
him.
All right.
Yeah, my vape.
No, I don't. Oh, yeah, I do. Hold up.
You fucking.
I have a different. I have another story too.
Yeah, go ahead and hit my vape before I ask. Right? Yeah, that's fine. That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. Peace.
All right. Here's the other story. All right. So this one's from Cat, 877XD. So it says, my mom. Oh wait, hold on. Is that the one? Yeah. My mom has caught me having sex on several occasions, but if you ask her, she would not consider coitus inappropriate. Okay. But coitus, man, that's a weird fucking way
Coitus
to
is
coitus.
like the
I know.
scientific name is
I know
sex.
that's a weird way
What's
to call
coitus?
it. Yeah, I know.
Scientific name is sex.
Yeah.
What's like? Oh, cunnilingus. That's the one for
Yeah.
like giving oral sex.
Yeah.
No, that's fellatio.
Felicia?
Fellatio was head. Cunnilingus
Was
is
that-
giving head to a
yeah,
girl.
Yeah, there you
Okay,
go.
so here it is. So my mom has caught me having sex on several occasions, but if you ask her, she would not consider coitus inappropriate. But the first time I was with my high school crush kissing and touching in my room, I forgot to lock the door, and he pulled his weapon out, and I started to play with it, and he started moaning, and I got so horny. Oh my god, this fucking story.
You put a 22 caliber out.
It says, we got into the moment, and my mom opens the door and sees everything. She got so red and quickly closed the door, and we started to dress fast. You know that feeling. You're fucking putting everything on and shit. And I says,
That reminds me of a story. Let me know.
yes, she says, she later told me it was okay, but to lock the door because she's so used to going in without knocking. Love that woman so much. Happy Father's Day, Matt. Thank you.
Happy Father's Day,
appreciate
Matthias.
it. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate that shit. Damn, y'all
All right,
wishing Happy
I don't know how
Father's
much
Day.
time we got left, but I got like
It's okay, keep
one
going.
more
It's
story.
okay.
Right,
Hey.
I got another story. Right,
There's
real
some
quick.
good comments
There's
in
some
here,
good
man. I got a
comments.
few more to read.
I got another one too.
Let me say this real quick. All right. So going back off that story right quick. So back then at the time, it was like freshman year of high school.
Okay. I'm gonna.
I was with my girlfriend at the time. I went over to her place, and we're like both like young, dumb, full of cum.
Yeah.
So we're out there,
Yeah.
young, dumb, full
Still
of
are
cum.
fucking full of cum.
And so like we were in her den, right? And the living room is right next door to the den. And like I was over here, I was like macking on her, I was like touching on her and stuff, and I was kissing her and shit. And I was like feeling down her chest, and I was feeling down her belly, and I went down and fucking undid her pants and started doing
Yeah.
some weird shit. And like as I'm like going down her pants and undoing it, I look up to the doorway, and her mom's right there, and I'm like, "Oh fuck!" And she has her eyes closed. She's like, "What are y'all doing?" Like her mother's Southern, right? And she immediately gets up and walks to the living room with her mom. And I'm over here sitting in the den, my dick's hard as fuck, and I'm sitting there like, well, I ain't coming back here anymore.
What a cock blocker. Damn.
And then fucking she comes back and she's like, it's okay. I explained to her you were like my belly was upset and you were massaging it. It's like, yeah, bullshit. She like
Yeah.
bad chance she believed that shit.
Damn.
And I was like, fuck. Well, I kept going over afterwards. But another time, it was the same girlfriend at the time. Another time, like her mom was out of town, or her mom was out of the house actually. And I go over there and like she's like, oh, me and her hanging out outside of town, like not outside of the house. But then she's like, hey, let's go back to my place because my mom's not home. Right, exactly. Right. And so I pull over to her place. We do the deed. Right.
Oh, you
And
commit the deed?
Yeah, we do the deed.
Ooh.
I'm in her bedroom and we go to the bathroom, like fix ourselves up, wash our like we get whatever sweat we got on. We're about to go again. And then from her bedroom, go down the hallway, you see the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
We're both in the bathroom, and then we just hear like that like her mom is outside of the fucking because the foyer, which is the
Mhm.
entrance of the house, is right next to the bathroom. And I can hear her mom's like she's talking to a kitten because they had a kitten at the time. She's like, "Hi, baby, how
My
you doing?"
heart
She's
would
talking to a
drop.
kid, and me and her both hear that, and we're like, "Fuck!" And I was supposed to be in the house.
Yeah.
She wasn't even supposed to be home.
Damn.
So I'm like, "Fuck!" And like immediately we both clean up. I go to her bedroom, and she's getting some clothes on, and I'm
Yeah.
over here butt ass naked. And I'm trying to get my clothes on, and she's my then girlfriend tells me, "You stay here, right? I need you to." She has a window in the room,
Yeah.
right? So she's like, "You see that window? Shh. You see that window? Get out of that window and meet me out in front of the house." And I'm over here like, fuck, I get my clothes on. She's talking to her mom. And I'm just standing there. I'm like, I don't know if I want to go out the window right now.
Mother,
I'm just gonna stand right here.
dumbass.
So I'm just standing in her room, just waiting for her mom to walk in. And I'll be like, "Hey, how you doing, ma'am? I'm just visiting your daughter. How's it going?" Thankfully, her mother does not come in her room. She comes back. She's like, "What are you still doing here?" And I'm like, "I don't know." She's like, "Jump out the window."
Dumbass.
And I'm like, "All right, how the fuck do you open it?" So I'm over here like fucking around with it, and I finally open the window, and I jump out the window. It's a small window. It's like a two by, it's like a.
Was it high up?
Yeah, it was high
that's
up.
why, yeah.
It was high up. Like, I had to stand on her dresser.
Pendejo.
I had to stand on her dresser drawer to get out of it.
And
So
then,
I get out and we walk out, and I get in the car, and then she drives me back home. Damn, dude.
Hey, you got out of it scot free.
fuck, dude.
Yeah, I had so many close calls, dude.
that's
That's for another episode.
crazy. All right, go
All
ahead.
right.
What's your other story?
Next comment, right, comes from Zach Seasoned 87.
Zach seasoned. This dude.
Zach Seasoned
He's got a
87.
season on him.
Shout out to Zach Seasoned.
Shout out, Boski.
I've been caught a couple of times by my dad, and he had always been cool about it. First time was after the school, and I was home alone, beating it off on the couch.
Oh,
And then he came home from work early, and he walked in, and I was like trying to cover it up, and he was like, "Finish off if you want. I'm gonna go hop on the shower." And
That's
I was like,
that's a real motherfucker right there.
that's
dude.
a real dad, bro.
"That's a real dad,
That's
man."
some fucking
Zach,
respect
Zach,
for
you
your
got
father.
a cool ass
You got a
dad.
fucking cool dad, dude.
He's
What did he say? Wait, stop
he's
laughing.
like, "Go ahead and walk off, finish off, and I'm gonna try to go. I'm gonna try to shower." And
You can read it.
I lost where I was. Oh yeah. Again, he was like, "Go ahead and knock off, man. I'm gonna go ahead and shower." And I was like, okay." And then I tried to go super quick all the way.
I wouldn't even finish up
Super
that.
setting in that bitch, bro.
I don't think I would have been able to finish after
Yeah, me
that.
neither, dude. I would have been fucked with this bitch away.
He said, I was like 14 when this happened, but crazy how everyone, not only guys, go through this experience.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to say, always been a fan and love and support small creators who would probably end up being something big one day.
Bro,
I appreciate that,
thank you.
Zach.
What's the
That's
name?
Thank you,
good.
Zach.
What's his name?
This is Zach Season.
Zach, thank you, bro.
Zach.
Fuck,
Season
you're a real
87.
one.
I appreciate that, guy.
Yeah.
Man,
the
we
fucking
appreciate that.
the trust he has that we're gonna be big. Yeah, let's go. All right, so I have this other one.
That's the longest shit, dude.
Yeah, I know. It says this one's from Cristina Catarina Mampa.
Oh, you love her name?
Catarina,
Hey,
la,
that's from the Vete la Verge.
vete la verge,
Oh, hey, she
Catarina.
knows about this shit. All right. So it says, I'm 25 and watching my first porn video.
25?
25? Oh, it's not.
Wait, okay, Catarina, what are you doing watching porn for the first time at 25?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
happens at
Before that.
13,
Hold on, wait,
14.
let's read it. What if it's something?
Okay,
Whoa,
we'll
whoa,
listen.
whoa.
We'll listen and
We
they
will
judge.
hold
We'll listen and they
all our
judge.
comments to the end. Go
All
ahead.
right,
We
so-
listen and we do not
Yeah,
judge.
we are judging right now. It says, I'm 25 and watching my first porn video.
What the
and
hell
I'm
are
a
you flicking
female.
your bean at?
Hey, shut
before
up,
that?
Edwin. Shut up.
Shut
Shut
up.
up.
It says, and I'm a female, so I don't think we watch them as frequently as males. Okay, so
Women do
I
it
guess
all.
so.
No,
I don't
women do
know.
a lot more than they like to admit. Don't worry
I don't know,
about that.
but it says I was curious. I'm still a virgin and wanted to see what sex is like. Almost done it multiple times, but fears/anxieties about it held me back. I know you guys probably were more confident since you three are men. So at first, I felt turned on mainly because the guy was going down on the girl. That got me aroused as a girl. So it says then the girl started doing oral and I was turned off. I hate doing oral on a guy. So then it says then the sex part I felt a bit frightened by it. I honestly feel like I'll have no idea what I'm doing or how it's supposed to work in person. It also looks like it'll really hurt, and I'm Mexican, so our family doesn't really talk about that since I'm a girl, and it's a thing that they always make me afraid of. So that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
Mexican, Hispanic families make it
Her
like
name is-
sex
her
is
name is
bad.
Catarina,
I
right?
get
Yeah,
that.
Catarina.
Catarina,
No,
you're asexual, I bet.
It says Cristina. Her name is Cristina.
Catarina,
Cristina,
you're asexual,
Cristina.
I
It
bet.
says maybe I should also say that I watched a soft porn. Seemed like a real life couple having sex. It wasn't a hardcore porn video. Tried to watch one as realistic as possible, just so I gain some sex skills, I suppose. P.S. I love you guys and will say with you, I'll do whatever you want.
What?
Wait, who?
I've never. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay, she goes on a rant about being afraid of sex, but it says, "P.S. Love you guys, and Jose, with you, I'll do whatever you want."
I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love.
He's a married man now.
Dude,
I'm a married
that's
man, so
crazy.
I'm committed.
And then Sack said, "Whoa, that's crazy. You're like a unicorn." Okay. This dude ruined it, but
Hold on. Where's she from?
she's Mexican. She says, "I don't know."
All right,
Where
Jose,
she's
you want to go to
from.
Mexico real quick?
Hey, no, she's Mexican, but I don't know if she's in Mexico or here. But she's typing in English supposedly here.
I'm married in America, but maybe
Bro,
I'll take a trip to
she
Mexico.
said, "Love you guys, Jose."
Hey, no, you're
dude.
married by the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
Married in the
State
city,
of Georgia.
city of Alabama, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so who
yeah.
knows? Maybe in a different state he could.
All right, let's see. This one is Peppermint
Hey,
Taster.
peppermint taster.
Peppermint Taster.
Hey, this dude.
All right, so Peppermint Taster says, it was the time when my brother's wedding was going on.
Oh my God! Please tell me this. Oh no. Go ahead.
We had a whole lot of guests with a large number of girls.
Mm-hmm.
Also, my sister-in-law's sisters were extremely hot.
Oh no.
I was getting very desperate seeing them all.
No,
I
this dude.
couldn't resist my desire to masturbate. I somehow controlled myself throughout the day. At night, when the ceremony was going on, I was actually sitting on a chair in the corner watching porn on my Samsung Galaxy S3 phone.
Shout out to the Samsung Galaxy.
Shout out to the Samsung Galaxy S3 phone.
Yeah, dude.
I forgot everything. I got lost in the Sunny Leon Seri porn.
Oh my God.
Have you ever heard of that porn star,
No,
Sunny Leon
no.
Seri?
I'm looking her up real
Look
quick.
her up. Look her up.
Then I didn't notice my sister-in-law's father was standing behind me.
Dude, what the fuck?
He also seemingly was getting bored during the function and was quietly peeking into my mobile.
Oh,
Soon
no.
enough, we
She's
saw each
she's
other.
an A-Rap version, by the way.
Oh, okay. All right. So keep going.
Hold on.
This dude. He's like a
Soon enough, we saw
Okay,
each
no,
other.
soon enough, we saw each other, horrified by it. I came back to the room and I didn't go back until the whole ceremony was over. I also never made eye contact with him after that event. I know it was weird. It was a weird place to watch it, but I was like Jocko. I was like Jocko and I was addicted. Is what he said. Shout out to Jocko again.
Hold on. So
Oh, God.
the ceremony must have been at this guy's house because he said he went back to his room, didn't come out till the ceremony was over.
Oh, okay. So probably.
No,
was
he
in-
probably went to
Yeah.
like a different
like a
one
different
of the
room, maybe.
venues,
Because
you
he didn't
know?
say my room. He said a room, right?
Yeah. What did he say?
He said a room or my room. Because if it
He
was
said
my.
I came back to the room and didn't go
Hey,
back
so
until
see,
the
it wasn't
ceremony.
his place. It was
It
the
was
room.
the room. It could have
Their
been any
room. Yeah, it could have been anywhere. Oh my God.
Hey, we
dude.
love these stories. You guys keep commenting with you. We're like insane stories. They don't have to be masturbation. They don't have to be sex. You just got to be insane. All right.
And that
So we can
shit's
do another
nice.
Chill Beat podcast. We'll read you guys' comments. We may even do a Q&A for the fucking guests we got.
So,
Leave it. Whatever you want to think.
you guys became very vulnerable to us. Right?
We exploited that.
We exploited
We
that. Thank
exploited
you
the
guys
fuck
for
out of
dropping these amazing comments. They were extremely fun to read. I think for the next Chill Bean podcast, we want you guys to drop a comment. It could be a question for any one of us. Me, Edwin, Matias, Jocko. It could be any one of us, right? Drop a comment. It could be any question you want to ask about us, right? And we will 100% answer it honestly, depending on how personal it gets, right?
If it gets too personal, we can't answer it.
Yeah, myself, I'm already married, right? If my wife doesn't have a problem with it, then I will gladly answer it. It could be anything, right?
I'll answer whatever the fuck it is.
You know what?
will as
Fuck
well.
it, right? I will answer anything. It doesn't matter, right? She can't divorce me right now.
Q&A for herself, dude. What about
Right?
you?
We'll do a Q&A for us, right? Ask us any question you want to answer, and we will answer it as honestly as
And
possible, right?
please be like rated R, like deepest, darkest.
Nah, do whatever the fuck you
secrets,
wanna
questions,
ask, bro.
desires,
Dude,
whatever.
I'm scared because by the fucking stories we got, they're gonna ask crazy shit.
And we
dude.
like feed our egos, please. Feed our
Eat
egos.
our
like,
egos, right?
Tell us how attractive we are.
All right, well, yeah, this was it for this Chill Bean episode. Thank you guys for everything, the likes, the comments. That's what's fucking great.
We love you
Keep
guys
at it
so
with the
much.
stories, man.
I'm
Love
gonna
you
get on
guys.
Matias' ass. Make sure you drop this episode as soon as you
Yes,
can.
and thank you for the wishing me happy Father's Day. You know, we received this is I'm gonna post this like this week, but it's been almost like a few quite a week since Father's Day. But hey, still thank you for that. And that was awesome. That was a great episode, bro.
Yeah,
I
so
had fun.
please,
Fantastic episode.
any question you have for us, any question, whatever it is,
Anything.
ask us,
Yeah.
right? The next episode of the Chill Bean Podcast, we will be reading these questions and we will be answering them as honest as possible, right? So do not be afraid.
Don't hold back. Don't
Don't
hold back.
hold back.
Don't hold
Ask
back.
whatever
Don't
you
hold
guys
back.
want.
Yes.
We will read it on this podcast, right?
But thank you. But that's
And
it.
if you want more Chill Bean episodes, please let us know in the comments as well.
subscribe and like, comment, and share. Thank you. This was it for the Chill Bean Podcast. Horrified Beans out.
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 Wait, do more to like. Do it. I'm gonna put that as the break thing. We don't even have to say anything. What the?